a lot of great books this month. Like, just solidly good books. This is a good month for me. I'm excited. This is great. Hey party people, it's Paige from the Page Turner. Today I'm doing a July wrap-up and August TBR. Yeah. So I wanted to read 10 books in July, which didn't happen because of a variety of reasons, but I did get pretty close. I read 7 books and a half, kind of. I'll get to that later. But I read a bunch of books, and some of them I have already reviews for on my channel, so you can check them out there, and I'll leave links below for everything. And then I will tell you everything that I'm going to try to read in August. The first book I read in July was Inside Out, A Personal History of Pink Floyd, written by Nick Mason, who is the drummer of Pink Floyd. And if you're not aware, which I guess good thing if you're not, but I love Pink Floyd. They're the reason I'm going back to England at the end of September, is to go to the exhibit that they're going to have at the V&A, and I'm very excited. So I finally picked up his book because I had been wanting to read it for a couple months but never had the time, and I flew through it in like a day. It was awesome. He's really funny, kind of dry British humor, but there was a lot of pictures in there too that I had never seen before, so it was kind of cool to see this like other side of this band that has always been kind of mysterious to me. And you know, I love their music obviously and stuff, so it's just kind of cool to like read on, you know, something from someone who's in the band themselves. And obviously I gave that one 5 stars on Goodreads because, yeah, obviously. The next book I picked up was Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This comes out in August, so this month, and this was fantastic. I read this before I saw the movie, and so I didn't really know what to think going into it. I've never been a huge fan of Wonder Woman. I've never, before this point, read anything by Leigh Bardugo, but I loved it. I have a full review linked down below that you can check out where I talk about it more there, but I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars. After Wonder Woman, I picked up Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart, and this one comes out in September, so not this month, but next month, obviously. And this one I flew through in literally a day. Like, I just took like 4 or 6 hours, I think, and read the entire thing. I think closer to 4 hours because it's so short. And it was so intriguing and interesting, and I also have a full review for this one that I haven't edited yet. But I'm going to have up soon, so you can check it out eventually. I'll have it linked down below. But this one I also gave 5 out of 5 stars. Because I was on a Leigh Bardugo kind of kick, and Sam and I, hi Sam as usual, we have been saying for ages that we want to read Six of Crows, so I finally picked up Six of Crows and I read it, and oh my god, it was so good and totally lived up to the hype, because everyone knows that I hate hyped/overhyped books, so I'm very wary of them. But this was so good and I loved it, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, obviously. And right after that, I picked up Crooked Kingdom, also by Leigh Bardugo, obviously. And this also was very fantastic and lovely, and I loved it, and I cried, and it was just so good. And oh my god, I love this series so much. And are we gonna get a third one? Because people keep saying it's a duology, but then I guess she keeps dropping hints on Twitter or something that it's gonna be a trilogy. So if you know anything about that, let me know, because I'd like to know if this, like, if we're gonna get more. I just love the characters so much, and I think there was just so much going on in these stories that, like, there's a lot to talk about, which obviously I'm not gonna put all in this video, but 5 out of 5 stars for this series and each of these books. I think I was on some sort of, like, adventure-y kind of kick this month, so after I finished Crooked Kingdom, I flew to Ohio to visit Emily. Hello, Emily, as everyone knows because we talk about each other all the time. But anyway, so on the plane ride there, because it's a long flight from California to Ohio, I started reading Warcross by Marie Lu, and this one also comes out in September of this year. And this was so good, so fantastic. You know, the plot moved really quickly. I finished more than half of it on the plane ride there in like 2 or 3 hours. That was my second flight, but yeah, that's irrelevant. And then I finished it on the way back, probably in like an hour. But I love the characters again. I've never read anything by Marie Lu before, so this was a first for me. But this was just so incredible and made me want to play video games all day long and like really jump into this world. And I cannot wait for the sequel, because this kind of ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. Like, I can wait, I guess, for the next book to come out. I have to wait. But I'm still really interested to see where the rest of this series will go. And of course, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then one more book that I read on the plane ride home from Ohio. was The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. So I had picked this up when I went book shopping with Emily. I think this was our first day in Ohio because she took me to a bunch of really cool bookshops. And I purchased this and because I've never read The Outsiders before, and a bunch of people did it for required reading in middle school, but I never did. It wasn't something that I wanted to pick up, I guess. But I read through, I think, this entire thing minus like 20 pages on the plane ride home, because it goes like that. The story's pretty interesting and stuff. And I didn't like it as much as I think other people like it, especially Emily, because I know she loves this book, and that's why I read it. But I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm kind of in the point where, like, at the end of books, after I've had time to really think about it and digest everything that I read, I tend to lower my star rating. So this is probably like more of a 3-star read for me. But it was good. It was really cute. I think if I was younger, I would have liked it a little bit more, but I really like the story. Again, good characters. And I really want to watch the movie now, too, because Emily said that's pretty good. So, yeah. And then I started this book, but obviously didn't finish because it's 800 frickin' pages. So that's Winter by Marissa Meyer. I haven't gotten back into this series in a long time. I read Ferris, I think, last year. I had to do a school project with Cinder, and that was really awesome. So I breezed through the next 2 books in the series after that, but never got to Winter, I think, because of the length, and I had finals and my thesis and everything like that. So I'm finally starting this series again, and unfortunately finishing this series because there's only Stars Above left after this. Oh, and Wires and Nerve, which is the graphic novel, so that'll be fun to read. But yeah, really enjoying this so far. Again, I love the characters. I wish I could have more Scarlet and Wolf interaction so far. I mean, I'm only like 140 pages in, but they are my favorite characters. And Cinder and Kai are a close second, so I really love them too. But yeah, just kind of interested to see where this series is going to end up and what's going to happen within 800 pages, because that is a whopping massive book. And I haven't read a book this long in a really long time, so hopefully I can get through all of this in August. That being said, I'm going to try to get through a couple other books in August. I don't know if this is actually going to happen because I usually tell myself, like, I'm going to read these 10 books, and then I don't, obviously, like July. So we will try to see if I can get through all of these. Actually, funnily enough, I had made an entire list of books that I wanted to read this summer. And as you can see, like, I crossed off some of them, but not all of them. And I kept adding to the list too, so that didn't really help. But most of the books that are on this list are in my pile, so yeah, I'm going to try to get through some of them. But one of the books that is not on that list, and was something that I kind of picked up on a whim, was Comfortably Numb, The Inside Story of Pink Floyd. Obviously, I'm getting prepped for my trip to London again, but I love learning about bands. Like, I have so many books on the Beatles, and I've read, as you can tell, Keith Richards' life. Sorry, Anna. Which was really fantastic, and I just love learning about, like, the bands and like the dynamics of the bands and like why they broke up, because I'm really, I guess, really into bands that like have horrible breakups. Yeah, so I'm just kind of interested to see where this is going to go from a perspective of someone who wasn't in the band. Actually, I don't even know who this guy is, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what he has to say. So far it's felt kind of invasive, so I'm not sure if I'm going to even finish it because the whole thing is just so strange, but yeah, we'll see. Okay, so these next few are from my summer reading list that I'd wanted to get to, and there are various reasons why I want to read some of these. The first one being Codename Verity by, who's this by? Elizabeth Wine. Dash, who I'm co-reading Winter with. I think we're co-reading. Dash, you better be reading. She wants me to read Codename Verity, and I told her she has to read The Book Thief. They're both World War II based books, so we told each other we would read them. I've been told by a lot of other people that this is fantastic and it's really sad, so that's why I kind of wasn't ready to read it yet right after some of the other ones that I had read this month, because they were just so fantastic and really action-packed, and I wasn't ready for a sad book, but I think I'm now ready to read this after, I'm going to pick this up after Winter. Another one that's been on my list forever, and I've met the author, and she signed the book, and she was really nice, is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Obviously, I haven't read this series. I really want to read this series. Everyone talks about this series and says a lot of various different things about it, and it's turning into a TV show, I guess, which I'm not super thrilled about because I'm so sick of books being turned into TV shows, but whatever. And yeah, I just want to get to this. And Emily says a lot of good things about it. Sam said mixed things about it. So they're kind of my go-betweens on book opinions. But again, an overhyped book that I feel like I'm not going to like because it's overhyped. So we will see how this goes. If I end up liking it, I'll probably breeze through the rest of the series too. I don't have the last one yet, but yeah, definitely something I want to get to this summer. And then yet another one that Emily has been telling me to pick up forever, and I feel like that's a lot of books that I have on my bookshelf. Sorry, Emily and Sam and Dash. They're all three of them keep telling me to read stuff, and I'm getting to it, I promise. But anyway, so Emily keeps telling me to read Between Shades of Grey by, oh, she always says her name correctly, Ruta Sepetys. Did I do it right? I hope I did. So she is always telling me to read this, and then she's also always telling me to read Salt to Sea, so I might pick that one up after this one because this is fairly thin, and the print's not too bad, but yeah, just want to get to this one. I have a feeling I'll just breeze through this one. And then I had some ARCs that I picked up at Y'all West, LA Times Book Festival. One was sent to me from the publisher, so I kind of want to get to some of these before they come out. And one of those is Beast Made of Night by, and I always butcher this name, so bear with me. Are we ready? We are ready. Tochi Onyebuchi? I hope I said that right. Anyway, this comes out in September, was something I picked up at Y'all West. I think I won it from the Penguin booth. I think. But I love the cover. I've heard, again, really good things, so pretty excited to try this one out. And then another September release that I've heard good things about that everyone is talking about, and apparently everyone wanted, was An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. Again, September release, like I said, but I don't know anything about this. I think it's fairy books, and that is what kind of put me off from it at first for reading it earlier, because I'm still burnt out from A Court of Thorns and Roses because of my thesis, and I probably will forever be put off by fairy books because, ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna try this. If I don't like it, it is what it is. Life's too short to read bad books. It's probably not a bad book. It's just my personal taste, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I will try my best. Another one that I picked up at Y'all West was Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This one comes out in October. Fairly thin, so I'm hoping that I can breeze through this really quickly. It is blurbed by Brendan Keeley, who co-wrote All American Boys with Jason Reynolds, who are both fantastic, fantastic writers, fantastic people. I've met both of them. And I have extreme faith in this book if it's blurbed by him, and everyone says this is really great, so I'm really excited to pick this up. This is a little bit lower on my to-do list just because it does come out in October, so if I don't get to it in August, I'll just pick it up in September. And then the last one that I'm going to try to get to, Penguin sent this to me a couple weeks ago, is That Inevitable Victorian Thing by E.K. Johnston. Again, comes out in October, so it's kind of lower on my priority list, but I love the premise of this, and I'm hoping that I can kind of get to this before I go back to London, because it's set in a near future world where the British Empire never fell and the United States never rose. And I am super intrigued by that because I want to move to England, and that sounds bloody fantastic. Which is not a freaking British accent, and I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, so I'm very excited to check this out. We'll see how it goes. Again, though, like I said, low on my priority list, so we'll see. And that is everything that I read and want to read this month and currently reading. So we will see how it goes. And if you are reading some of these, let me know. Or if you've read some of them already, again, let me know. If you have a video similar to this, let me know. I love watching your guys' stuff and interacting. So cool. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'm around on Tumblr mostly, and Twitter, and Instagram, so all that stuff's linked below, including my website. Check everything out down there. There's a lot of links down there. Also links down there for Dash, Sam, and Emily, who I talked about throughout this video, because they're awesome, and you should check them out too. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. British, what is it? It's so bloody hot. And people are texting me. Who I am talking about in this video. Hi Sam. You don't know that I'm saying hi. Haha.